In this series, we're going to discuss about how Prince2 defines a project. Our first task is to understand whether a piece of work is a project or business as usual. We will then learn how Prince2 defines project management. And finally, we will see what objectives can be set for a project. Prince2 is only used to manage projects. So the first step for a project manager is to ensure that the situation they are faced with is indeed a project. Sometimes this is not so easy. If an IT manager is asked to update a website, is that a project? If the update is quite small, the work might be considered a normal operational task. If it's a larger piece of work, then it might be treated as a project. At what point does the small update become too big to be business as usual? The answer to this question relates to risk. An approach such as Prince2 provides a management framework that considerably increases the likelihood of a project success. However, for small jobs, the framework might introduce a large and unnecessary management overhead. So deciding whether to treat a situation as a project is all about balancing the management overhead that would be introduced against such things as the decrease in the level of risk, the importance of the work, and the increase in the likelihood of success. Prince2 defines a project as a temporary organization that is created for the purpose of delivering one or more business products according to an agreed business case. The definition mentions a temporary organization. In Prince2, a group of people called the project management team come together for the duration of the project. Business products are ones that will ultimately deliver some return for the organization running the project. Also note the definition mentions a business case. Prince2 places a great deal of importance on the justification of the project. Anyone involved with the project should be able to justify why they are doing it. Certain characteristics of project work distinguish it from business as usual. The first point is change. Organization will be different after the project. For example, if the project implements a new invoice processing system, the finance department will be working in quite a different way after the project than it did before. The next point is being temporary. Projects don't go on forever. They should have a start and an end point. The end point occurs when the desired change has been implemented. The third point is about being cross-functional. Cross-functional projects often involve a collection of people drawn from many different sets of skills, departments, and sometimes even different organizations. The fourth point is about being unique. To some extent, all project work is unique. On the one extreme, the project could be completely unique, such as the 1960s Apollo missions to send a man to the moon. Alternatively, the project could be just slightly different from what has been done before. For example, the installation of a new version of Office software might be similar to the installation of the last version. However, this time the software is a little different and maybe new people are involved. The fifth point is about being uncertain. The previous four characteristics introduce a great deal of uncertainty into project work. It is not quite clear how things will turn out. All sorts of unforeseen threats might occur. This uncertainty introduces a lot more risk compared with business as usual. So what do I mean when I say business as usual? Prince2 is not used to manage situations that could be regarded as business as usual. This is any work that is a part of an organization's normal operations, for example, supporting a company's IT systems, cleaning the rooms of a hotel, or even running a call center. It has no predefined end. It usually involves people from the same area of the business and doesn't introduce any major change into the organization. It isn't unique. What was done last week is pretty much the same as what will be done the next week. Therefore, far less uncertainty exists regarding this work. Project work often leads to business as usual work. For example, if there is a project to build a hotel, once the hotel opens, there will be a lot of business as usual work. This normal operational work might consist of a range of activities, including supporting the hotel's IT systems, manning the reception desk, dealing with the client's queries, running the restaurant, and so on. So now that we have understood what a project is and what business as usual means, we now will see what project management is about. There are four main areas of project management, that is plan, delegate, monitor, and control. The four areas ensure that the specialist work of the project is coordinated in an effective way so as to deliver what is required within certain constraints such as budgets and delivery dates. For example, if the project is to build a hotel like we were discussing earlier, it ensures that all the hundreds of tasks, people and resources work together to produce a hotel of the right quality. Here are some descriptions of each of the four areas of project management. First, let's look about the plan. The first area is the plan, what needs to be created and how this will be done. This ensures that all of the work is effectively coordinated. In the same hotel example, it stops situations such as the painters arriving on site before the builders have finished building the hotel walls. The next area of project management is delegate. Effective delegation by the project manager ensures that the right people do the right work at the right time. Delegating must communicate all the information that the person doing the work needs to know, such as what to create, how much time they have, what budget they have, how often to report progress, and so on. Third area of project management is monitor. It would be a naive project manager who believes that once the work has been delegated, it will all be completed to plan. The project manager needs to constantly monitor the ongoing process of the project, spotting problems that might delay things as well as opportunities to move the project forward. The fourth area is control. Through the previous three areas, project management exerts control over the project. It controls all the work of all the people involved. It ensures that the right activities occur at the right time to create the right products. Control is also about taking corrective action when the project looks like it will go off course. So the next point that we would want to be discussing about is measuring the performance of a project. A project's performance can be measured in 6 areas. How much money it spends, and this relates to a project's cost. How ahead or behind schedule this is. How ahead or behind schedule it is. This relates to a project's timescales. How well the project's products meet the required specification. And this point relates to a project's quality. How many of the required products have been delivered and whether any products have been delivered that were not asked for. This point relates to a project's scope. How much uncertainty the project has that might lead to the project being negatively impacted. This relates to the level of project risk. How much value a project has delivered to the organization either during or after the project. And this point relates to a project's benefits. It may not be possible to judge how well a project has performed against its benefits targets until sometime after the initiative has finished. For example, if the project was to build a website to sell a company's products, online sales can't be measured until after the website has been launched. So we hope that in this session you've got some perspective about what a project is, what business as usual means, and what project management entails. In the next sessions, we will come back with more informative and interesting topics that give you a glimpse of what Prince2 certification will do to your career.